Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to FTB Interactions. We are picking back up right after last episode. I'm ready to get to Overworld. I'm really curious to see where we spawned in, and I'm really curious to see how dangerous our first days in the Overworld are going to be. I'm excited to see. I mean, there's some things that we could make a bit of, like health potions, for starters, because there's no natural health regeneration in this pack. We could make a bit more of those, but we're not going to. We're going to just push on to the overworld and see what lies in store for us there once we get there. So anyways, let's go ahead, and I need to get a porcelain heater or something. Alright, now I'm going to need to get some more bones. And let me just kind of empty these out a little bit here. I'll get those quest rewards later. I mean, we've got some candles, we've got a bee, we've got some stone gears, and we've got a signal and conversion kit. The bee would be nice for speeding up crops, but I'm actually not really waiting on crops at this point. I'm really just waiting on, of course, getting some bones available to us. So, I am going to need a bunch of grout. What we're looking at needing is we need 10 of these, and so I'm going to need basically just one craft of paper walls, which I should have plenty of sugarcane around at this point. I really just need 8 pieces of paper for that. There's our paper walls. I'm actually going to set up a little chest here so we can start getting the things that we need put into it. So there's the paper walls. I'm also going to need, I should probably go ahead and just start cooking grout. I mean, once we get the melter up and going, we can make it a bit easier, but I have to get a couple porcelain pieces before I can do that. So, and then we're also going to need 20 covalence dust. So there's our 20 covalence dust. And then we're going to need 40 reed blocks, which is really just like 5 crafts. It's not too bad. Turn that off for the time being. Grab those X-tone tiles that they gave us earlier on, and we'll go ahead and get those. And then we're just working on the seared bricks. Oh, which actually we can't smelt cobblestone, so maybe it's not even... Oh, but we do get a whole block of seared stone for 1 grout. So there is that, but yeah, basically I need 20 of these. Alright, I think what we're going to do, just because it's going to take a little while before we get the bones, I think I'm going to push on into conveyors. We actually have a quest here to get a bunch of stone gears, and let's go ahead and take those. Let me just clear that out for just a second. It's going to take exactly 1 bucket of lava to make what we need to do anyways. So there's really no reason I'm holding on to the leftover ones, I don't think. And we'll go ahead and get some rice slime balls. And we're going to have to get some plastic also. And for this, we need to make some drying racks, which just take string. I'll have to start with 1. It might be a little bit slow to get started with. Let's go ahead and get ourselves some slabs. And we can at least get this started working, because, I mean, worst case scenario, we get to the overworld and we're still going to need conveyors, like, early on, because we use them a ton, you know. But let's go ahead and just put in our item rack, because I'd like to get these automated pretty quick. May not be till we get to the overworld, we'll see. But anyways, there's 3 more of those. I'm gonna have to make some more grout. Okay, I got the dry rubber. It actually doesn't take very long. 1 of those is honestly plenty. So I do have to get this smelted up real quick. Alright, so let's go ahead and get ourselves some conveyors. There we go. And we completed this quest. We do get an extraction conveyor and an insertion conveyor upgrade. from that, which is super, super nice. Then to make additional extraction conveyor upgrades, we can definitely pull these off. I do have the extra slime balls, so I'd like to go ahead and get another 2 extraction conveyor upgrades. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some conveyors in here. I'm going to need to make one more batch of conveyor belts real quick, which means I'm going to need a little bit more plastic. I did get 1 bone, but that's all I've gotten this whole time, and it's like, I think before that time I'll just be able to do it with grout. So, and the extraction upgrades are going to be more beneficial to us than pushing for the melter setup right this second, because once we get into the overworld, the melter setup's going to be pretty easy, especially once we get like pure daisies. But at the moment it's the bones and everything. Plus, if I recall, in this pack, starting out, skeletons don't shoot arrows. They try to hit you with like melee attacks. So the skeletons starting out are pretty easy. So I think this will be for the best. Okay, there's another batch of conveyors. And then we can go ahead and put our extraction upgrades. Whoops. And extraction upgrade there. Insertion upgrade there. So once the stuff's actually on the conveyor properly, it should automatically insert. Now you can set a filter to these, but it's not important with the clay kiln so much because they can only output the finished product. So now I need to set up some hoppers, I do believe, to feed these. But that should, yeah, that's getting inserted. Beautiful. Okay, so let me get some hoppers made real quick. And we'll just put our hoppers in, and then we can just dump a bit of this grout. And then those can get to running. Okay, so we just need 6 more seared bricks. That's going to run automatically. We don't have to manually manage it anymore, and it was really a whole lot easier than doing the bones. Sand is free, gravel's free, clay's basically free at this point, so I think that's going to be good for us. Bones are a bit more expensive. We don't have as many bones. Then while that's finishing up, one thing I do need to do, let me grab a piece of this obsidian and grab that. We're going to go ahead and convert that over. Grab that, empty that, drop that in, and now we're just about ready to craft out this overworld portal. So let's grab these blocks, and we're going to go ahead and lay this out real quick, and then I believe it is the hammer to do this. So we got a quest completed here. There's 7 of them. Quest completed. A very broad overview of primary progression goals. It says tips on which quest lines to focus on as you progress. If you ever get lost, you can refer back to this quest chain for guidance on which quest lines to work on next. And we do get a reward here, the Terra Nova reward. So there's that. And I'm going to go ahead and set up our portal. Honestly, we'll just put it over here. And before we go to the overworld, there's one other thing I'd like to go ahead and make. Just really quick. Use our arcane ashes one last time before we go. Let me get a piece of ice. Just because we may need it. I may not take it initially when we go. We'll see. But let's go ahead and place in our obsidian and our water. Wrong order. Get that running. Let me go ahead and grab those. Oh, and you know what I just realized? I'm going to have to grab up our portal. There we go. Crying obsidian block. I'm going to have to grab our portal up because I have to have all 10 blocks at the same time. Oh man, it's going to take forever. Okay, Quest completed. There we go. And we'll just place that out. I am going to dump off some stuff, most of our stuff. We're going to need our Philosopher's Stone to light this, so just right-click that. And I'm going to leave the Philosopher's Stone here, along with most everything else. I am going to take a little bit of food with us. That. And it's just about to be dark. I don't want to spend a lot of time until after night. But we did complete this quest, so we do get some teleporters and ender shards, which are quite useful. And that's where that video comes into play about piggybacking teleporters. Oh, this is... Oh, that's nifty. They really clean that up a lot. I like that. Okay, so we can go ahead and pop on in and just see where we spawned in at. I spawned like... Did I really? Man, I always get the worst, like, world spawns, I feel like. Because it looked like a spawner there or something. Okay, let me put all this up. I'm just going to step in and I'm going to drop a torch. I didn't even notice the Y level that we were on. 34. Oh my gosh, this is a terrible spawn. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I mean, there is some benefits to having this spawn. In that, I guess we have a dungeon available right this second. There's a unicorn in there. Okay, well this is safe, at least. What I'm going to do... Oh my gosh. This is awful. I'm going to go make some ladders, I think. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of ladder my way up. And then hopefully... Oh, great. Great. I think I've ended up, somehow, I have outdone myself with an ocean spawn meets a dungeon spawn. What in the world? I have the absolute worst luck when it comes to spawns, I swear. Okay, well I need to wait for day. Well, I'm going to set a portal down here, and I'm going to go ahead and link this portal. And then I'll take this teleporter and this, and I'm going to do the /set home command. Just so that way I can warp back home to this location to be able to set up my portals. Okay, we're going to give this a shot. Oh, this is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Worst. I mean, I'm used to, like, middle of the ocean spawns. I've gotten really good at them. Oh, never mind. I'm at the edge of the ocean. Okay, not as bad. Let's see, I can just add a quick waypoint. Yeah, let me do that. I'm going to set that as a waypoint, and we're going to... Let's see. That over there is like a magical forest. Yeah, let me just pop a boat, and we're going to start swimming about. I've got teleporters, so worst comes to worst, I can easily kind of warp back, you know, and I can do /home, of course, too. But at least we've got a safe spot. That could have been a whole lot worse, I guess. And we got a village right here. I didn't bring my pick with me, but it's whatever. No loot back here. Oh, emerald nuggets. I've got to get a villager set up for emerald nuggets pretty quick, I guess. No fence hopper. That's fine. Yeah, I might just set up near here, to be honest. I don't want to set up near the village because they'll all be dead come tomorrow, but maybe go off a ways from it. And then I've got a swamp over there. And we're kind of on like an elevated area, which is kind of nice for once we start into like astral sorcery or something. We're not going to have to build some big floating thing necessarily. Yeah, let me make a little starter cave real quick. I'm going to go ahead and just right click that into there. Bind that. Go ahead and do the /home. Set that there. And now I can warp back and forth. Alright, so give me just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and just dig out a little like starter space for us. And I need more flint. I'm going to dig out a little starter space and get all of our stuff moved over. And then we are going to be officially in the overworld. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, it has been a bit. I've gotten things moved. There's actually a skeleton out there that started shooting me with arrows. I did die one time. If you notice, I do have one death. I was moving things over and I was outside because I had like crafting table and stuff set up out there, and a zombie on a spider climbed the fence and got me. But you can see out there, I don't want to go out there right this second because it's about to be night. Oh, he's going to smash stuff. Come on. Not that worried about it. But over there, I've got rows of cotton planted all the way down to there. It's a lot of cotton. I also have some rice. I have wheat. I have lotus. And that's it. I have wheat, lotus, rice, and cotton out there planted. So I do have quite a few crops planted. I can't go out there right now, but that's fine. One thing I want to do, you can see like I'm steadily getting things converted. Everything is moved out. It's in these chests outside. I'm going to kind of block this in a little bit. But for right now, what I want to do, I've been setting up clay kilns. And because the first thing that I want to shoot for is just a big super smelter. Because there's so much smelting that goes on, and with the clay kiln, it's one at a time. And honestly, clay kilns are solid for smelting for a very long time in this pack. So I'd like to go ahead and just make a super smelter where we can just dump things in a chest and they get smelted in mass. Altogether, there's 24 clay kilns down through here. I used up most of our remaining clay for this area. And it's basically just going to be one big smelting operation that happens here. But one thing I do want to do, let me grab... comes another spider. He's going to smash the ground. That's fine. I'm not too worried about a couple crops getting trampled, but... Oh, man. Okay. Anyways. But what I'm wanting to make is a bunch of conveyor belts. But before I can do that, I need a bunch of rubber to get processed, right? I need to do the sticky resin and all that. Let me move this out of the way real quick, because I think it may be in my way. Just move it over to here. I did put our crying obsidian down, and our coordinates are set. But one thing I want to do, which should work... Okay, I got what I needed. Whew. Oh, there's so many zombies piling up outside. Like, look on the map how much yellow there is. It's just piles of zombies out here. And there's a baby zombie right there. Anyways, what I want to do, I want to set up a drying rack here. Oops, I did not mean to do that. And I want to put a hopper feeding into this, so if I was to take like sticky resin and I put it into there, it does feed over. And then what I want to do is just use our first conveyors. And we're just going to put them here. Let's go ahead and do an insert right there. Extraction, if I click, yeah, there we go. And it looks like it's only going to extract when it's finished. I don't have to set the filter. If you need to set the filter, you can do it here, but I think I already mentioned that. But this way I can just let this run passively and build this up while I'm doing some other projects. I mean, I could expand and add more of those, which we probably will later. I've got another drying rack and I can make some more. Probably will add some more, but for right now this should be good. I'd also like to do like a real hopper over here, but for right now I can just pile this stuff up like this. Could even take it a step further and have it plugged up to the clay kilns, but I don't have the extraction upgrades made just yet. We're going to do that in a second. Then we're going to make this so that it can process rubber on its own just by dumping it into a chest, and it's going to come out as the, as the plastic, because it's going to go through this whole process, and then we'll be able to smelt other things too. We're going to get to that in just a minute, but I need this rubber to get built up first before I can start doing that. So, and I am going to go ahead and just run these out like that, and we can do, we'll have extraction upgrades. I'm going to go ahead and just start slotting on this. We'll have extraction upgrades down through here that feed onto this conveyor, right? And then this conveyor will end out at probably a chest that sits, may have it sit right here, because eventually this is going to be open on the front, but we may have it set probably one down so you can look down and see all the items coming, I think is what I'm going to do, but I'll decide here shortly. Just waiting for these zombies to burn. But anyways, I'm going to let this run for a bit and build up our dry rubber. I'll be back here in just a bit. And we're going to be using DroppingConveyer Upgrades because you can't insert on the back. I just discovered that. So we're going to go ahead and just run these along here and apply our DroppingConveyer Upgrades there. And let me see. If I was to, and I've got this, they're basically just on one side right now, and they pull out, come down to here to this chest. Let me get, I need the covalence dust to make more conveyors. By the way, just as a heads up, you can get conveyors from this quest. I went ahead and got them. You get 8. So that will help initially. But just to try this out, I want to go ahead and I want to pull off let me go ahead and just pull this off, and let me actually just pull this off too. And I want to go ahead and put the conveyor in right there with the extraction upgrade there. Oh, can I not? Okay. I have escaped. May have to expand this out just a little bit, but this should... it's making it jump that. Okay, well the easiest fix for that is going to be just putting a block right there of some sort, and then it should send it down. It may not ever insert with it being right there. I may have to shift it. If you recall, these conveyors are kind of wonky in the way that they work. Oh, it did. It deposited one there, but it's not going down. Oh, I know why it is too. It's because this conveyor is sending it back up. There we go. Now things should work. So if we give it just a second, it should pump that rubber down. And it should go into this chest. Beautiful. Okay, so that's working. I'm going to kind of organize this out just a little bit, but basically what I need to do is I have to make a bunch of conveyors, and they have to get ran all the way down. And I could either use a splitting upgrade or, I mean, I'm probably going to use a splitting upgrade, but I could also have them travel around and back around. Actually, they're going to need to travel back around anyways, so yeah, I'm not going to do a splitting upgrade for this. They're going to just go straight through and around with this system. And I'll show you why that is once I get all these conveyors ran. But yeah, that's going to help out a lot, just having that in place. And then once this, I don't know, these things don't update correctly, but once this is finished running and there's no more sticky resin, I'll start adding in that dry rubber and sending it through piece by piece. So anyways, I'll be back in a little bit once I get more conveyors made and more stuff ran through. Okay, I've got this all sorted and figured out and everything. So what we're going to do, we're going to add in one more conveyor that sits right here. And one more conveyor back here that sits... Okay, I guess conveyors... That's fine. It seems like the conveyor, it won't let me place it like that, so we're going to have to come back. It won't go on top of these extraction upgrades, I suppose. Or it's not letting me place them. And I've got to put one more extraction upgrade. No. Give it back. Here. Okay, so basically what we've got here, this is still plugged up to the little rubber system. I may leave it, or I may change it up a little bit. I don't know. It's really not terrible, and it's actually a decent speed without clogging up my smelting system. So, I don't know. I might just leave it how it is. Basically what we've got, all of these have extractions, of course, that pull out the finished product once the kiln has smelted it. And then if we need to process rubber, all we got to do is throw sticky resin into here, and it's going to go into the hopper, feed into the drying rack, which gets pulled out, and it gets sent around. And then if we want to smelt anything in particular, so for example, if I want some, some smooth stone, I could just grab all this cobblestone, and it's going to start extracting it and sending it around, which is going to dump it into the kilns. As you can see, they're filling up with cobblestone, and it's going to bring it around right here. Or it's supposed to, but apparently it's not going to. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. One second. The problem here is I had already set this up to turn. So I just need to change that. So the conveyor goes off in this direction, and then we have the dropping conveyor upgrade there. Okay. Alright, let's do this again. So I can put the items into the chest, and they start cycling around. So it's going to feel, let me just grab one of these. It's going to fill cobblestone into all this, and then it's going to start coming around and dumping it into these, as you can see. But just so that we don't have, stuff that just gets to the end and can't go anywhere, it just cycles around in the chest. I mean, it's not perfect. I would like maybe some redstone timer-based control. But for now, this is fine. This is honestly fine. And it's just going to cycle around until it finishes. So I don't want to dump a lot of this into the chest necessarily, so that it's going to lag out the world. But you'll notice, I mean, it smelted a stack of stone pretty quick. I mean, with 24 of these, it's actually decently quick about smelting. Throw that back in there, but it's decently quick about smelting. It does mean that there's some stuff in the world, but it can't really be helped at this stage in the pack. And this way we can smelt things at a decent rate without it taking a long time. Which is going to help us out a lot as far as progressing within the start of this pack. And then I can make like low-grade charcoal or just whatever I need to, and then I can make my rubber, which pretty much is always just going to fill into one clay kiln, but it's something that I can set and just walk away and leave it running, and I don't need a bunch of setup. I just need the one extraction upgrade. If I want to add more, I can, but honestly, I'm pretty happy with with it as is, truth be told. Because I don't think that redstone does anything with the upgrades or the conveyors. I don't believe. Like if I put that there, yeah, it still extracts. I don't think it's going to change anything if I do anything with redstone. So there's really no other option but to just let it do its thing. I don't believe. So I'll just let it go crazy and do all of its in-world stuff for the time being. But extraction, of course, it doesn't extract until it finishes the product, so we don't have to worry about whitelisting anything with this. So I think that's good, though. I mean, it was kind of expensive to set up, but now it wasn't terrible. It was a bunch of stone gears and a bunch of plastic, which isn't too bad. And actually, since it's daytime, I want to show you out here. This is kind of the layout that we've got. So they have trampled a couple things, but candleberries, that was the other crop. I have one line of candleberries here. And then the rest, lotuses, cotton seeds, and rice. Just so our staple things that we're going to be using a lot of at the beginning of the pack, we have plenty of. So I'd like to do fertile soil, but I don't have the bone meal right now. I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, so I am going to end it out here. I'm going to try to, maybe between episodes, just kind of get out of this little cave and get the area at least kind of defended. So that we can move out of the cave and not be cramped up. I just wanted to start here because this is where our smelter system was going to be. But now that this is in place, I'm ready to get out of this building, this room, which will be a building. So anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.